Good evening. Good evening. It is 9 o'clock Central Standard Time, right on the dot. But we will give it a minute or two to get the notification out on both YouTube and Facebook. For those who are in the process of coming on in the room, that's something I'd like to say. Glad to have you with us. Those who may be watching this back, hope it's a benefit to you. Give it a minute or so. I'm just pulling it up myself. Put your volume so I don't echo. There we go. Get a little information here. Let's get some information. Oops, my bad. We'll kick off in just a second. I want to kind of put some information out there so we know what we're working with. We're all on the same page in terms of how we're going to define the term. All right. And you know me, I get cranking. I'm just going to roll through and get out of the way. People will join as they do or don't do. Oh, okay. So my Facebook. It's interesting to show my Facebook comments. Not sure why it doesn't show everybody. But anyway, all right. So it's extremely important that we understand what conspiracy theories are, because if we don't have a good working definition that we can use, they're different like that. All right. And it's there for you to see. Hopefully everyone was able to see that. But so let's get started. Conspiracy theories. My write-up this, I don't always read it, but I'm gonna read it this week. It's a conspiracy is actually what we titled this. There have always been those given to considering the wildest of possibilities, the zaniest of outcomes, the most over the top ideas imaginable. Most of the time, they are dismissed outright. Add the World Wide Web, and with the rise of social media platforms, just like Facebook and YouTube, which we are on both of them simultaneously, and bam, these theories explode, even take on a life of their own. Again, most are likely dismissed outright, but not all of them. Social media has uniquely allowed people to connect in a real and sometimes dangerous way around conspiracy theories. Make sure you get that. Social media has, in a very real way, allowed people to connect around conspiracy theories. And you see what we have there for the definition of conspiracy in particular. So why is this the case? And then we get to our questions that we want to address in brief this evening. So, if conspiracy, according to Merriam-Webster's dictionary, a secret plan made by two or more people to do something that is harmful or illegal. So, the first thing we need to say right up front is we're not just talking about theories. A theory is an idea or set of ideas that is intended to explain facts or events. That's what a theory is. No issue with the word theory whatsoever, because it's just an idea or set of ideas. Here's a word that you might hear in science: a hypothesis. A hypothesis is educated guess. It's an educated idea about trying to explain something scientifically, trying to give a pre explanation if you know your scientific method. Remember, it's a pre explanation, right? So theory ain't the issue. All of us have some theories, some ideas about something. But let's go back to this. Make sure we get this. Conspiracy, right? A secret plan made by two or more people to do something that is harmful or illegal. A secret plan made by two or more people to do something that is harmful or illegal. So I want to make sure up front we get the point. When we say conspiracy theories, conspiracy theorists, we're not just talking about people who have some ideas, some theories about something. No, 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 no. We're talking about people who believe that there is some secret going on, some secret ideas that have some harm, may have some harmful effects, harmful or illegal effects. So we want to make. I'm taking a few minutes to make sure I get that clear. Now somebody will jump in 15 minutes from now and won't have those definitions. So and will accuse me, and Gabe, you're being this, that, and the other. And I know it happens. People are not always able to be there at the open, but I'm hitting this hard, so I'll be able to say to them. And if you're sharing this out, and maybe you're sharing it a little late into the broadcast, hey, make sure those definitions are clear. Copy and paste them onto your when you share them so that they can see them. Okay. So now let's get busy. Why is this a topic anyway? Well, if you haven't been around, or you're an infant or a toddler, a pre-adolescent, maybe you have no concepts about what's going on in the world. But if you are, dare I say, a teenager and have any awareness, listening to your parents, listening to your grandparents, listening to adults, uh, 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 teachers, whatever the case may be, it is likely that you have become aware of the conspiracy. Here it is again. The conspiracy theories, excuse me, the secret plans, the secret plans, or at least the ideas behind secret plans, right? Made by two or more people to do something that is harmful or illegal. But my first point that I want to make out the box is, are there things that have happened in history? Now, I'm giving a caveat here. Are there harmful things that have happened in history? American history, world history? Yes. Have there been conspiracies? Absolutely. Absolute governmental conspiracies, medical world conspiracies, even individuals within a given community. That's why I love the definition: a secret plan made by two or more people. I've been working this definition of community for over a year now. So now you can see why I might tackle a topic like this, because I'm concerned about community. And since a conspiracy is about made by two or more people to do something harmful or illegal, well, then I think this is in my wheelhouse. But again, the issue is not the two or more people; it is the potential outcome. and have conspiracies again happen? Yes, indeed. Have people conspired together? Have they come together to cause harm? Yes. Even in the basic of things, right? I hate to use this example, but it is what it is. A husband will have his friend to conspire to help him lie to his wife, or vice versa. Children will try to get their friends to conspire together with them to lie to their parents, maybe even to each other's parents. Are conspiracies potentially real? Yes, yes. We're not here to suggest that there are no people out there conspiring right now. Somebody may be conspiring to rob someone of their hard-earned money, to do harm. And typically, it's hard to do crimes without someone else knowing. It's hard to do. So that's why you get the two or more people. So let me just say right up front, our conspiracies, not the theories, the conspiracies. See how I'm doing that? I'm separating the two words to make one of them abundantly clear. Are there conspiracies? Have there been conspiracies? Absolutely. Even within giving communities? Absolutely. Watch this. Even within homes? Absolutely. All you need is two or more people. Two or more people. It may be the two people who are living, let's say a husband and a wife living together, who are conspiring to do something outside of their home or do something in the neighborhood. So I want to make sure you understand. I'm not suggesting that it's not possible. I'm not suggesting that. That would be disingenuous. That would be wrong. And to me, I would tell you to turn me off. I would tell you, hey, leave the broadcast. Don't watch this. I got to be balanced. I got to be fair. But when you put the two words together, it's not a matter of whether or not there have ever been conspiracies. Now, let me go ahead and say this one. Everybody stay with me. Obviously, there was, and clearly the conspiracy theories have risen to a height that I've never known in my lifetime behind the pandemic. I'm not going to avoid these things. And if you get uncomfortable because you don't want to hear about the pandemic, love you. Have a good night. I'm going to talk about what I talk about. And so clearly the pandemic has been a man, like fuel, like absolute gasoline to conspiracy theorists and theories. Now, was there really a conspiratorial event in history, in particular for people who look like me? Yes, the Tuskegee experiment. Now, if you don't believe me or you're tired of people mentioning it, especially black folks, look it up. Google Tuskegee experiment, and you will see articles talking about the fact that there was a conspiracy to give to those men in Tuskegee substances that they were going to use those black men, those black soldiers, to test their substance on them. That did actually happen. It was a conspiracy. You want another one? How about the conspiracy to take the land from the Indians? Now, no one is truly a native. If you are a Christian, you know everyone comes from two people. But the Native Americans or the Indians were certainly here before others. So we grant them nativity, the native, call them natives. But the reality of it is American history that the chickenpox blankets and all this was done to seize the land from those who were on the land. That's a true conspiracy, a secret plan, because it was secret from them. I know you may not, Gabe, hurry up and move on. I'm gonna move on. Just stay with me though. I want to make sure you understand. I recognize, historically speaking, that there have been real conspiracies that were contrived, that were put in real secret plans that were made by two or more people to do something harmful and illegal. Okay, so we got that settled. First 15 minutes, boom, got it. Now, to conspiracy theorists. To conspiracy theorists, that's who we came to actually address tonight. So it's not simply a person contriving, or persons, excuse me, contriving a conspiracy. In fact, conspiracy theorists are not the ones actually contriving the conspiracy. Ah, distinction. You ready? The conspiracy theorist is suggesting that there are at least two or more people out there who are conspiring to do something harmful. The conspiracy theorist, I want to be technically sound here. So the conspiracy theorist doesn't have to be two or more people. Get it? It can be one person who is theorizing, who is idealizing that somebody, some group of people have put forth a secret plan. Now, here's where I'm probably going to step on some toes, but I love you. You know, I love you. The conspiracy theorists, first point about them, it doesn't require any proof. Right out the box. You know me, I don't waste time. So, to the individual who may be a theorist of conspiracies, a theorizer, excuse me, of conspiracies, they don't actually have to have any proof. So in my write-up, what did I say? The invention of the World Wide Web, which came in my lifetime, and the bringing on through the World Wide Web of social media, and voila, a conspiracy theorist can contrive a set of ideas about those whom they think are secretly putting on or coming up with plans. Here's one that we heard for the last almost 2 years. Bill Gates is conspiring with others to come up with a vaccine that will be XYZ. Now, let me just say this, any of my Christian brothers and sisters who are watching, you're not going to escape tonight. I'm just going to tell you right now. I'm just going to tell you. Stay with me, see how we work it out. But the idea was, and that's just one of the ones that I saw online and I heard people speaking, that Bill Gates and others were setting forth a secret plan. I'm going to keep giving that definition. Conspiring, setting forth a secret plan to do something harmful, in particular to blacks. Let's just get right to it. And sometimes to ease the thing, they say black and brown. But more often than not, they mean black people. Let's just be honest. So that was one of the conspiracies. Now, I am vaccinated. My son will be fully vaccinated by the end of this week. He is actually brown and black. He's mixed with Hispanic and African American. So here I am, months and months and months later. The conspiracy theorizers told me and many others that there was a major plan, and here's what they echoed back to: the Tuskegee experiment. Now, I don't have any problem. I referenced it on purpose. Any problem with people referencing a dark time and period in history to give us pause to consider. My response to those conspiracy theorizers was, I have been vaccinated all my life. Believe it or not, when your child, for those, of course, who have children, you know this, your child is born. And if they believe that there's some particular medical issue with the child, they began to vaccinate. If the child has a weak immune system, they began to vaccinate the child at birth. And more often than not, that I know of, nobody who looks like me, darker or lighter, doesn't matter, has stood against it. Now, there may be one that I don't know, but I have never come across a parent of the black or brown persuasion who bought into some of these theories, who may even put forth some of these conspiratorial theories with these vaccines, who said anything about their children being vaccinated. I was a school teacher in a school with predominantly brown and black children, and I didn't hear anything. I have never said anything in the 12 years of my son going to school, and all of the vaccinations, I got a card full of him taking vaccinations. Full. Now, I'll get off this particular example, but I want to make sure we have a working understanding here. Come on, can we talk to each other? Let's talk. Then that's not the only thing the conspiracy theorists, theorizers were dealing with, but that's a big one. It's so big and important. Now, conspiracies are contrived by people who potentially want to do some harm. But conspiracy theorizers have been so harmful that some of the 700,000 people who have died from COVID-19 or some variation thereof died as conspiracy theorizers. Do you understand? Why do this subject? Because we have to be careful of the information of the things we speak. We have to be cautious about what we're putting out. We have to be cautious. And here's another thing. One, they don't have to deal with truth. The next thing is they don't have to be fact checked. What I've come to understand, and I know a few people who have boldly declared, I am a conspiratorial theorizer. As a matter of fact, I heard Shaquille O'Neal recently. I'm a conspiracy theorist. Now, I suspect Dr. O'Neal, he has a PhD, has not really examined those definitions. Because to say I am a conspiracy theorizer, even or to quietly to say to yourself, yeah, I'm into conspiracy theories as well. What you're saying is I am into believing that people are out there concocting secret plans. Remember the definition? Two or more people out there concocting secret plans to do harmful, illegal things. So I don't have to have any proof. I'm just theorizing. I'm just idealizing. I'm just sitting around my house or driving in my car, whatever the case may be, and I'm just coming up with ideas that there are people out there who are coming up with conspiracies, with plans, secret plans to unleash on the world, leash on me to do something to me and to do something to those whom I love. And there are people, again, Shaquille O'Neal said it publicly. So I'm not making it up. I'm not lying on the brother. The dude said it. I'm a conspiracy theorist. I don't mean any disrespect, but those who are Trumpers, almost by definition these days, are conspiracy theorizers. Almost by definition. Now you may say, no, Gabe, I agree. I believe in Trump, but I'm not a conspiracy theorizer. Well, let me ask you a question. Did he win the election? Yes or no? Or do you have a conspiracy that the election was stolen so that some kind of harm could be done on the country by the Democrats? Because that's what conspiracy is about. Or have you theorized, if you agree with his theory that there was a conspiracy to take the election from him so that the Democrats can destroy America? Because understand, they're not just simply saying stole the election so they could get rich. That's not a conspiracy. Remember, to do harm or no, actually, is or something illegal. Stole the election, right? Stole the election. So that means to do something illegal and or harmful. So again, where you stand. Now you say, well, Gabe, I have a right to, and I love that statement as an American. I have a right. But my intent with this broadcast tonight is maybe to get some of my conspiratorial theorizers to think for a moment, to stop for a second and to realize that being a conspiracy theorist may not actually be the healthiest route, may not be the most advantageous route, may not be the best use of your inalienable rights, of your civil liberties. Yes, you can do it because it's ideas in your head, but when you have influence and impact on others, are you seeing where I'm going now? There are people who are literally dying believing these conspiracies. I have watched one testimony after another of people who have died believing these conspiracy theories or are sitting in the hospital, tubes running everywhere, breathing machines, doing their best to say, I wish I would have taken the vaccination. If I could do it better, if I could do it different, I would. So you tell me, as being a conspiracy theorist, harmless. You talk to me. Help me understand. Am I just making too much of this? I could have did a topic on something else. But you help me understand. You help me get it. It's bad enough that I've already admitted that there are people out there who conspire to do harmful, illegal things. Happens all the time. But is it any better? Are we any better? Point number what, two, three here? So point number one is doesn't require any truth. Point number two doesn't have to be tested or vetted because it doesn't require any truth to present the. And of course, on your social media platform, you can present conspiracy theories all day long. Bill Gates is conspiring with so and so to do so and so, etc., etc. The school district is trying to harm our children by making them wear masks. This is all over the United States, ladies and gentlemen. I ain't making this stuff up. We're standing against the mask mandate, and our children can't breathe in these masks. They've been wearing them for over a year. But all of a sudden now, because of a mandate, they can't breathe. My son has asthma, hasn't had an asthma attack in over 2 years, and he's been wearing his mask. He doesn't wear it every single day, every single moment of the day. No, but he wears his mask and he goes to school. His dad got COVID. He has not gotten it. Once he gets his last vaccination, not to suggest he won't ever get it, but it will cut down his possibility of getting it and the effects of it dramatically to an extraordinarily high. Well, Gabe, are you about vaccinating? I'm not here about vaccinations. I'm here to talk about the fact that I can't afford as a father to give myself to listening to and contriving and creating and disseminating conspiracy theories. There's so many out there now. Not only is it worth doing it as a topic, a conversation, but we have to really start trying to figure out how do we sift through this stuff. Because my next point is, with all due respect, anything you're putting out there as suppositional truth without any kind of testing is garbage. I'm not sorry. It's right garbage. And I'll be perfectly honest with you, it's actually starting to get on my everlasting nerve. Now, I did my research. I posted videos on my page from epidemiologists and so on and so on and so forth. Because I wanted people to know that there are people out there who study this stuff, they give themselves to understand. And if everybody had a learning curve, they did too. Well, Gabe, they made mistakes. Okay, mistakes. Note the word. But to suggest that they had some agenda, to suggest a mistake is not a conspiracy. See? Okay, let's move away from the pandemic. Let's get a bit more personal. Let's go into our homes. Let's go into the communities of our homes. Is my husband conspiring? Is my wife conspiring? Is my children conspiring to get me, to hurt me, to do legal tie to me? Maybe you're single. Maybe you would like to get into a relationship, but you're struggling because you're sitting around theorizing conspiracies. If you're a woman, you're theorizing that every man is out to hurt you, to harm you, to sexually abuse you, to cheat on you. You're a man. You believe every woman is out there conspiring to get your money. You see how this works? You see why this becomes so serious? How many people are potentially negating their opportunity, watch this, to even move forward in their life? My uncle, whom I was raised around, loved dearly, missed terribly, my Uncle Larry, my dad's brother, born in Mississippi, didn't hit California until him and my dad, until they were, what, he was preteen. My dad was 12, somewhere in there. Do you know that man is dead in part? Well, largely because he drank himself to death, essentially destroyed his liver. But also, this was a man who had conspiracy theory. He was a conspiracy theorist. Now, again, think about what I'm saying. He was born in Mississippi. Clearly, his skin tone is quite similar to mine. My dad was born in 1950. He was born, what, 1953, 50, somewhere in there. So you can understand being African American in the South, where I now sit, not too far from where Meridian, Mississippi is only, what, 4 hours, 3 or 4 hours away from me? They were born 4 hours from where I'm, what, 3 or 4 hours from where I'm sitting. I could understand some of the things that my father was telling us about, the things that they were being told and taught and how they had to be cautious and be careful. I could understand that in the 40s, and of course, just throughout American history, that things were not of a good sort for African Americans, let alone any other minority group. I could understand that they were concerned about conspiracies. I still see the Confederate flag to this day, right now, in this city. I still see it. So I get it. But as I listened to my uncle, particularly after he had been drinking, and to hear all these conspiracies, and what was so fascinating is that these conspiracies were always seemingly somehow directed at him in some form or fashion. That these conspiracies, it's been years since he's passed away, so I don't remember the exact conspiracies nowadays, but he was definitely one given to conspiracy theorizing. Ideas about, as a matter of fact, he ended up getting fired or quitting his job because he felt like everybody was out to get it. And not that racism still doesn't exist. Of course it does. Of course it does. And be lying to suggest that it doesn't. But all of a sudden, he theorized that everybody on his job was racist. Because my father stated, now my father's the oldest of the two, that he had dealt with some racist specific situations, racism on his job. And then all of a sudden, ironically, my uncle, who had been on his job for years, suddenly said that there was racism. Now, I'm careful to suggest that there wasn't, but what did I just say? There was no truth offered. He just started claiming racism. You understand? Have you ever talked to a conspiracy theorist? Have you ever listened to them and noticed if you start giving pushback and you start trying to say, well, what about this? What about this? That they get, excuse my French, but butt hurt. They get all offended, and you can't tell me, and I know what I'm talking about because I've done the research. Is anybody else tired of this phrase but me? I've done the research. I've done the research, and the research is, here we go again, some social media site that's not a actual information site. It's not a site that edu.edu. It's not some educational videos. It's just more people theorizing. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. Tucker Carlson, right? There's more people offering theories. Now, I told you I ain't gonna let the church folks skate. It doesn't just happen in our homes. It doesn't just happen on our jobs. It doesn't just happen in politics. It doesn't just happen in the medical field. It actually happens in church. Are you serious, Gabe? There's conspiracy theorizers in church? Yeah. You ain't been in a good long time. Let me say, somebody who hasn't been. Let me fix it. In a good long time, and they walk in, and they theorizing that somebody's gonna come up and say something to them and question them and attack them because they haven't seen them, and so they hurry up and hit the door. By the time he says, okay, let's dismiss, the pastor stands and says, let's dismiss, they already got their purse, they got their Bible, they, all right, kids, on your mark, Get set in Jesus' name. Amen. Go. They run into the door. Why? Because they're so afraid, because they theorize that there's a conspiracy since they just showed up to get them. Oh, I know a big one, to get your money. Oh, yes, because all those preachers want. And I'm a preacher. My dad's a preacher. My brother's a preacher. My grandfather was a preacher. My great grandfather was a preacher. All they after is your money. I'm not suggesting that there are not greedy people in all walks of life, including in ministry. But do you really want to put forth the notion, the idea that all preachers, that's a conspiracy theory, that all preachers are just greedy for your money? It's all they want. All they ever want. All they want is money. Money, money, money. I don't even know. That's a conspiracy theory. Because here's another one of the issues with these people who are conspiracy theorists. By being conspiracy theorists, despite the fact that they don't have to offer any truth, they don't have to test any of their hypotheses or ideas, because theory is an idea or a set of ideas. They don't actually have to test them and then put them out, right? They don't have to test them. They can put those bad boys out there. Then they also self-protect. They protect, right? Those are the first things we said. The next thing you understand is because they're now going to self-protect mode, especially since they already put out their theory as truth. Oh, you missed it. Let me do it again. See, the reality of it is once I put out my theory as truth, I state it as truth in terms of an emphatic way I say it. I say it with such emphasis. And here's another one of the things that they do to try to make it seem like it's true, like they've vetted it, like they've tested it, like they've studied it, like they've actually done research and not just read a bunch of nonsense websites or got on the phone and gossip. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it. Gossip is not testing your theory. Gossiping is not the way to find out whether or not what you're saying is true. Because none of y'all have tested it. And here's another one. Then they try to suggest, well, a lot of people feel this way. And because a lot of people feel this way, it must be true. Here's a phrase I haven't heard in years. Everybody can't be wrong. Now, I'm going to say this respectfully as I can, but I tend to think those, and if you're listening to me, watching this back, and you claim to be a conspiracy theorist, I do not know you directly. I don't know you in that way. But let me just say this. When are we going to call a spade a spade? Because people who who drum up conspiracy theories, it's one thing if you're saying it to yourself. Okay, I ain't gonna say nothing about you. But when you start putting out this untested, unqualified information as truth, you're a liar. You're a liar. Now, we don't use those kind of words these days. When I was a kid, we did. Man, you lying. Man, that ain't how it is. Look, this is the truth. Back in the day when I was a kid, that's how grown folks talk. Maybe not all of them, but a lot of them. We called each other on our lies in a community. See how I'm doing it? In a community, there was a time when you would call each other on your lies. Hey, man, if nothing else, you haven't tested that. You don't know if that's true or not. That's just gossip. We don't call it conspiracy theory, but we just call it gossip. Man, look at how he acted, man. You know he cheating on his wife. Do you actually know that? No. Well, why are you putting that out there? Man, because just look at him, look at him, look at him. I bet that's what's happening. I bet. Okay, why are you putting that out there again? I got proof. What's your proof? You talked to somebody? You found the lady he's sleeping with? Well, no. I just know people know him and they all say something about him. But Gabe, what if it proves to be true? No. What if it proves to be true? Prove. That doesn't justify putting it out there like it's already proven and trying to substantiate it on the basis of the fact that you're the one saying it. So now the next point I'm going to make is conspiracy theorists tend to be extraordinarily prideful. They tend to be quite arrogant. The ones I know, when you listen to them talk, you ain't even, man, you ain't even tested that theory. No, I just know. You just know. Okay, you just know. Yeah, I just, man, I just know. I just believe in my bones. I just feel it. Okay, but make sure you, now when I was a kid, this is what they taught me. Say, in my opinion. See, we don't follow these communicative rules anymore. Oh, you didn't think I could do it, did you? You didn't think I could make this a subject? See, because we're violating some of these communicative rules that I grew up with. Call an opinion an opinion. In my opinion, I believe. Now, I don't have any, and to be honest, I haven't tested it. I don't have any proof. I just have a feeling. Okay, I can actually get with that. I can respect that. I can work with that, believe it or not, because your feeling about a thing might prove to be true. But simply because you felt it doesn't make it true. I don't give a rip who you are unless your name is Jesus Christos, Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ. So unless your name is Jesus Christ, you might want to speak that as an opinion. You might want to state that this is just my sense, my feeling. I detect that a thing might be a certain way. I don't know if it is, and I'll be honest to say I don't know. And then that gives the people in your community who are engaging you, who are listening to you, the opportunity to put what you're saying in a right perspective. But because, Gabe, I have the right to say on my social media platform, I have the right to say to my community what I want to say, and that's all that pride, and that's all that ego. See? And I don't have to be telling the truth, but I just really feel it. Well, who in the world are you? No disrespect. Okay, I just know my son is out there, my daughter's out, and that's my son. That's my daughter. So you can't tell me, well, I ain't trying to tell you nothing about your child. But the fact that I am somebody's parent and somebody's child, and I know my son, nor my mom and dad know everything about me and what I'm doing and what I'm thinking, I'm venturing to say your children have thoughts and feelings and attitudes and dispositions that you don't know everything. You don't know it. So why are you trying to put out a conspiracy theory about what your son is doing or not doing, what your daughter is doing or not doing? And if they're grown, it's their doggone business. Right? Just like you don't want nobody conspiring and theorizing about you. And you get touchy. And you get bothered when you start hearing conspiracy theories, gossip about you. You get unnerved when somebody brings you up. But you don't have no problem with laying out your conspiracy theories about your children, about your spouse, about your boss, about your neighbors, about your co-workers, about your pastor. Yeah, I ain't stupid. I've been doing this a long time. Oh, he doing this, girl. He's stealing the money. Yeah, man. I heard that new car he got. I heard, you know, that yeah, he done took the money to do something harmful. That he conspired to take the money from the tithes. Come find out, actually, his mama died. He just hadn't told about anybody yet, and he got some money from his mama. Bought him a car. Maybe somebody gave him a car as a gift because he ministered the word of God to them, and they wanted to bless him, and they knew he needed a car. That's how he got the car. But you theorized that he conspired to get his hands on the tithe. Now, Gabe, there are pastors who do that. But if you keep presenting those things as your justification for opening your mouth and speaking your conspiracy theories, you do understand you are disseminating, you are putting out information that could make you liable. And you might be brought up on what they call defamation suits. You see, you see. I'm trying to help you. Just maybe instead of having all these conspiracy theories, which cause you from your position of arrogance and pride, and even, I'll get to that in a minute, but from your position of arrogance and pride, because you didn't want to actually vet that and get some information. Good evening to you. Good evening. So because you didn't want to vet it and get information, so now you up there actually committing defamation of character, and you're going to be held liable. Have you heard of the $1.3 billion lawsuit against Rudy Giuliani, against Fox News? Have you not heard of the $1.3 billion defamation suit against the My Pillow guy? Why? Because they are the conspiracy theories. You don't think that this stuff is serious? Do you not know people have committed suicide behind conspiracy theories? That she was trying to take that man's husband. Oh, she was? Oh man, you see how she was dressing? Oh, you know she was. Homegirl killed herself. Dude quit his job. No, he got a family, but he couldn't handle all the conspiracy theories about people claiming he was coming on his job doing something nefarious. Remember, a conspiracy, let me give it to you again. Here's what a conspiracy is, just in case you missed it. A conspiracy is a secret plan made by two or more people to do something that is harmful or illegal. And here, this gentleman is working on his job. He's working hard, and somebody starts talking to somebody else. I think what he's trying to do, I think he's trying to do something illegal. I think that's what, yeah, girl, I believe you. Because he seems shady. And that's spread around the job, and it hits the wrong ears. And now he's being watched extra by his bosses, which he never should have got in the first place. But because we didn't want to have to test anything, we didn't want to have to, I know I don't usually do this, but the Bible says, prove all things. Hold fast to what is good. Prove, that word prove means test it. Now, here's the thing, and I'm almost done. If you say, well, Gabe, some things can't be tested, then why are you speaking it? Well, I just feel it. Keep that to yourself and let the truth of it prove out one way or another. Now, again, I've already said, let's go back to some old rules when it comes to communication. Tell an opinion as an opinion. If you haven't tested it, then it is an opinion. I don't care how strongly you hold to it. It is an opinion. I don't care if it proves to be 132.5% true. It still was an opinion because you did not test it. And gossiping and finding like-minded people is not testing your theory, your idea. That's not testing it. I agree. There are some things you do feel, but you can't test it. So shut up! What are you doing? Do you not care that somebody's life could be ruined? Here's a phrase. I know you've heard it. Cancel culture. You know what drives cancel culture? Conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theories. Above all things drive cancel culture. Think about it. This person is out there trying to get black folks to vote. And so what we're going to do is say that what the person is really doing is trying to destroy the very fabric of our democracy. And so now we're going to blast his, was that in Georgia? We're going to blast his telephone number. We're going to put his address. We're going to put all of his personal information out there, poor fella, death threats and all that. Do you understand how serious conspiracy theories can get when they are being communicated as if to say they are facts? I dare somebody put my personal information out there and think I'm going quietly. You don't know Gabe. Well, I'm going to be a Christian, but you don't know Gabe. Put my facts, put my information out there. See what happens. Let's see what happens here. See if you and I don't have a real long conversation as I draw up my liable papers, as I sue you for defamation of character. See if that don't happen. Cost me my new job. Cost me some position and time with my son. See if you don't run into some issues with me. You want to cancel culture me on some conspiracy theories that you have? You thinking I'm trying to do some harm to you or to somebody? So you sit around and theorize that I'm conspiring to do something, and then you put that out there like facts, and you get some idiots behind you. No disrespect. You get some idiots behind you that, yeah, I think Pastor Gabe, I think Gabe out there. Yeah, you right, girl. Yeah, you right. I think he tried to do something. Yeah. And you get you a group of people that get behind you, you ain't never seen this side of me. And you ain't finna now. I'm just letting it be known. And I get the sneaky suspicion I ain't the only one who is in this kind of view. Now, I'm on social media. And I'm not going anywhere. You heard me? I ain't going nowhere. But come for me with your conspiracy theories. Come for me suggesting and question my character, question my integrity. Because honestly, if you think about it, ultimately, and I'm done, I can do 10, 15 more of these, that what a conspiracy theorist is doing is theorizing about a person's character. You are drawing conclusions about a person's character. Well, you think it's defamation of character. You are drawing conclusions. And whether you prove to be right at some point or another, you got to understand you're going out on a really weak limb when you start speaking your conspiracy theories. You are on a really weak limb when you start spouting that stuff off and you haven't vetted it. You haven't tested it. You haven't put your own theories to the test. You haven't ran it through. What's your agenda? What's your intention? Why are you saying that about these people? Why are you so quick to say Bill Gates is trying to come up with a vaccine that's going to kill black folks? Why are you putting out and why are you clicking like on those things? You know, Bill Gates is shady. He's shady. Yeah, look at him. He's shady. Yeah. You don't even know Bill Gates. Ain't never met the man. And using his product. I'm using his product right now, Windows 10. And ain't blinked. Other than when it mess up on me and I get a little upset with it. See, at some point or another, somebody's got to do this. At some point, somebody's got to say what needs to be said. We want to check all the people that we think are out there conspiring to get us. And again, I'm not here suggesting that racism doesn't exist. I'm not here suggesting, ladies, that there is no glass ceiling. I heard a politician openly admit, last year before maybe, that women are still being paid, 80, 70% on the dollar to every man? So clearly, there are people still conspiring, ladies, to keep you from making equal pay with men. That's a real thing. And the dude admitted to it. Can't remember what congressman or senator, I can't remember. It's really out there. Oh, they conspiring to take our guns. Ain't nobody trying to take your guns. We just trying to keep people who are not qualified to have a gun from having it. So they won't be shooting up people and we can't track them down because they didn't have to go through any steps to get that thing that's powerful enough to blow somebody's brains out. But you got people out there spouting conspiracy theories about they trying to take your guns. Guns have been a part of this nation since the beginning. I was just in McDonald's with my son a few hours ago, and a brother was in there with a gun. My brother was in there with a gun. And ain't nobody tripped. Now, he didn't have on a police uniform, but ain't nobody flipped out. I saw the gun and went back to eating. Now, he ain't shooting up nobody, so we was cool. We was good. You see? We good. So the reality of it is there are legitimate conspiracies going on. There are legitimate conspiracies. Oh, yeah, Texas is rough. Texas is rough with them guns, man. You ain't got to have no proof of nothing. You boom, gun. All right then. All right now. So the reality of it is, the reality of it is, there are actual conspiracies. I'm not talking about the actual conspiracy. What I'm talking about is the fact that there are those out there who are theorizing and they don't know the truth, and they're not even trying to know the truth. They're theorizing and they're not even trying to figure out what is and what isn't. They don't. Matter of fact, the truth of the matter is, most conspiracy theorists that I have met in the last couple of years, given the election, I won't go back through all that. You ask them, and I'm just so annoyed with them. I don't ask anymore. But in the beginning, I would ask, waiting to see if they were going to lay some truth on me. And I ain't gonna lie, I never did get any facts. I never did. One gentleman flat out said, and he is white, flat out said to me, and I was a captive audience. I was in his car. Yeah, I actually thought Obama was the next Antichrist. And here was what he based it on. Given his name. And I looked over at him like, man, you better hurry up and drop me off at my house. Dude literally said, elder white gentleman, obviously ain't calling nobody's name, elder white gentleman taking me home from worship service several months ago, car was getting worked on, actually said, I thought Barack Hussein Obama was the Antichrist because of his name. Conspiracy theory. Because if you don't know anything about the Antichrist is definitely out to do harm. He's not out to do any good. So hear me and understand me. Now, I let it roll. I was in his car. He was giving me a ride. I got out the car and went on about my business, but I'm just telling you, this is the kind of stuff that people are saying, just popping off at the mouth. And you think it mattered that he had an African American sitting next to him? Apparently not. Now, granted, I'm in his car. Do you understand what I'm saying? That typically conspiracy theorists have a tendency, watch this, to not give a rip about anybody or anything in their communities. They tend not to care. They tend not to care one way or another. I can come up with a theory that somebody's out there to do harm to me and my loved ones, and I could put that out there and it doesn't matter. And then if I'll put it out there and I'm waiting on social, let's be honest, I'm waiting on social media to get me 2 or 3 or 4 or 500 or whatever it is who will agree with me, and they ain't got no more information. I watched this dude, his name is Jordan Kepler. Just real quickly. His name is Jordan Kepler. He had his own show for a minute. I don't know if it ended up working out, but on Comedy Central, yes, I watch Comedy Central from time to time. Actually, I watch YouTube and they show it on YouTube. His name is Jordan Kepler, and he does these he does these on the scene reporting, right? I don't know if you've seen it. Tall white gentleman, and he's sent out by the Daily Show, hosted by, of course, Trevor Noah. Now, this is not a Christian broadcast, so let me let me just say that. So he goes out and they prepare and they go to Trump rallies and they go to all these kind of things, and they ask Trumpers, which is what they call themselves and what they're being called. They ask Trumpers about these conspiracy theories, basically. And it's funny. I mean, I watch it because it's hilarious to listen to these people, and he twists and turns them into knots by making clear, concise statements that are factual. Listen to me. For those of you who have a conspiracy theorist in your house, or you have a conspiracy theorist on your job or in your community, whatever that looks like, this is now. Let me caution you. If you ain't ready to do this, don't do this. But what he does is he states facts. That's all he does. So they'll state a conspiracy theory, and he'll state a fact, and he'll state it like, yeah, this, and they go, yeah. And I'm sitting there going, no, he just literally disagreed with you, and he gave you facts. I'm cracking up because really, most conspiracy theorists, if not almost all of them, don't care about facts. They don't care about truth. They really don't care about people. They simply care about themselves. Okay, just because I believe in conspiracy, they think about what you're saying. Let me talk directly to those of you who are conspiracy theorists. Stop bragging because think about what you're saying. I believe in conspiracy theories. What does that mean? Have you even stopped to think about what the world that means? I believe in conspiracy theories. In other words, theories about people out making conspiracies. That's literally what you're saying. I believe that there are people out making conspiracy. I've already said yes, but I don't have to have any truth, Gabe. And you believe it without facts, don't you? Remember the definition. Here it is one more again, just in case you missed it. One more again. I'm just giving it to you one more time and I'm done. Here's what it says. A secret plan made by two, a secret, a secret plan. So you're believing that there are people out there and these are secret plans. Secret. You're theorizing about secrets that you have no way to know because they're secrets. I just wanted to save that last one for you, my conspiracy theorist brothers and sisters. You are theorizing about secret plans. In other words, you are judging the intents of people's hearts. You are trying to determine what they are thinking, what they are feeling, and you have no way of actually knowing. So, my advice to you, my dear conspiratorial brothers and sisters who like to theorize, I would advise you to leave that alone. Maybe you found that as a past national pastime. Maybe you think that's some kind of fun thing to do. But let me ask you, has it benefited you in any real way? Even if what you contrived to be a conspiracy that somebody was trying to commit to you or blacks or whites or Chinese or women or whatever your community, even if it proves to be true, it wasn't true because you conspired, because excuse me, because you theorized it. What does that say? You think you're special? You think somehow you should have some kind of special government job because you know how to theorize conspiracies that you have no way of proving until they either come to light or don't? And let me ask you this question on my way out. When you're debunked, remember that was one of my questions. When what you conspired, excuse me, what you theorized to be a conspiracy is found to be untrue, are you humble enough? Because you don't like me calling you arrogant. Okay, are you humble enough? Do you have enough meekness to say, you know what, I was wrong? That was not true. Or do you find yourself going until it's too late? Until you put your foot so far in your mouth that you swallowing your kneecap? Do you have the humility to be able to say, you know what, that's wrong, and I shouldn't have put that out there? Because obviously, as you can see, my biggest issue is with those who keep putting them out there, who keep putting them out there, and you keep putting it out there like it's truth. No, keep that to yourself. And really, honestly, psychologically speaking, I'd advise you to stop doing it. Now, that's a whole nother broadcast, the psychological effects of being a conspiracy theorist, because you're not dealing in truth. You're not dealing in facts. You're dealing in fear. You're dealing in pride. You're dealing in maybe even anger. You're not dealing in facts. And I'm telling you, that's not healthy. You're not going to be the person who's going to extend forgiveness, nor are you going to be the person who, when you need to seek forgiveness because you were wrong, you're not going to say, I told you I could, man, this subject, I can work it. I've been holding this one for more than a year. I just wanted to wait till some of this died down. We got a vaccine and some other things. But now I think it's the perfect time as now people are now getting the vaccine. Isn't that interesting? Now they're talking about around here, you got to make appointments because there's so many people getting vaccinated. When I got vaccinated, several months ago, It was like, just come right on in. Come right on in. We don't even have no, you don't even have to make an appointment. Now they're talking about make appointments because people, hey, great. My son is half vaccinated. Yes, he didn't die. He didn't kill over. No, he didn't fall apart. He had a sore arm just like I did. Just like I did. All right, I'm done. I'm 5 minutes over my time. At least I try to stay close to the hour. But I hope this is beneficial. Share this out. Now, look, this is going to rub some people the wrong way, but hopefully in a good way. Hopefully it'll help them begin to really stop and think, you know what benefit has it been? And really ask themselves the question. Maybe you need to have a conversation around it. I say it every week. Have a conversation. Real quick announcement. Now, of course, those who are on my business YouTube page, Victory in Christ Broadcasting channel on YouTube, you already know. But if you're watching me live on my Gabe Matthews Facebook page, know that I will be now broadcasting simultaneously on YouTube and on my Facebook page from this point forward. All the stuff I was doing on my Facebook group, I'm going to do here. When I say all the stuff, let me digress a bit. So I'm going to do my Tuesday night teachings. Now let me say this for those who follow me. I appreciate you. Once I start working here, hopefully in the next week or so, I won't always be able to be here every Thursday, every Tuesday. But I promise you, I'll set out an announcement when I know I'll be able to broadcast. I may even broadcast during the day. I'm not completely sure because as a young lady who's our praise and worship leader said, you're basically going to be on call, and to some extent, yes, I am. So I'm not working 8 to 5. It's not that. I have to be available to what will be my clients. So that said, I won't always be able to be Thursday night 9. I'll try to shoot for that, but that's not a guarantee. Tuesday night 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm going to shoot for that, but that won't always be the case. So please be patient with me. I'm going back into the workforce. I haven't been in for 4 years now, since I was a school teacher. So please be patient with me. Work with me. I'll keep giving you content as long as you want to hear it. But I just need you to give me some flexibility, and I'll keep bringing it. Now, for those who are just on my Facebook page, catch me on my YouTube page. Again, Victory in Christ Broadcasting channel. As a matter of fact, look for this logo. Let me give it to you real quick, just so you can see when you go to YouTube. That's the logo that you're looking for. It'll populate up here in a minute on Facebook. That's the logo that you're looking for. That's what you want when you type in Victory in Christ, because there's several different groups. So there it is. Several different groups that have Victory in Christ or some form of that broadcast, something like that. But that's my logo. So when you seek that out, hey, like, click, subscribe, add me, follow me there, hit that notification bell so that you can know when I'm going live. It might be easier to watch me on YouTube than it is to watch me on Facebook. All right, dear friends, have a good one. And until next time, maybe next Tuesday, we'll see. Until next time, have a good rest of your week and weekend.